If you clicked on this episode, then chances are you are an old soul. You've had many lifetimes on Earth. And this time, you're not here just to experience Earth life. You're here to make an impact, to help humanity in some way. Today, I will share why God wants you to start a business. So yes, this is a very specific message for a very specific group of people. And if this doesn't resonate, feel free to click away. But if this stirs up something in your soul, right? You feel something in your heart listening to this and you're curious to learn more, then stick around. If you ignore your soul mission, you risk living a life of frustration and spiritual stagnation. God wants you to feel happy, fulfilled, and aligned with your true purpose. And for many of us light workers, our business is the vehicle that God gave you for your joy. I used to dread Mondays. I hated it so much and I would be living for the weekends back when I was an office worker. But now that I have my own business and it's aligned with my purpose, I wake up on Mondays and I'm actually so excited to work. I have to have like a strict work-life balance with strict hours because otherwise I would just overwork because I love it so much. I love creating content and helping you guys out. And if you created a business around your purpose, then you'd feel the same way. What my experience and others have made me realize is the biggest obstacle is ignoring God's plan because of fear, doubt, or waiting for perfect conditions. There are 3 soul-sabotaging excuses that keep coming up for others, but also for myself, especially at the beginning of my journey. And that was, I'm not ready, I don't have the resources, or what if I fail God's plan? All of these keep you out of alignment with your divine purpose. You need to trust God, you need to trust the universe and yourself, your higher self, who decided that you would start a business this lifetime pre-birth. You wouldn't be assigned this if you couldn't do it. So without further ado, here are 3 reasons why God wants you to start a business. Number 1 is that you came here pre-birth with a set soul mission. God and your higher self designed your soul mission before you were born. So your entrepreneurial work is the medium to fulfill that assignment and avoid a life of regret. I used to have office jobs and my dream was to get a job at Google. And eventually I manifested this job at Google and I thought, okay, finally I will be happy. But after a while that novelty wore off and I realized I hate my job. This is not my dream. This is not my purpose. I'm not enjoying this. And I had this like dark night of the soul of, okay, what do I do now? I thought this was my dream. So I quit. I booked a one-way ticket to South America. I pursued different freelance works, different business models, and eventually I started this YouTube channel and eventually I started this company, the Spirit Nomad. And it's so fulfilling to me. I really enjoy my work. So this is the best decision of my life. And I feel like if I hadn't taken that leap, I would have regretted it 100%. And you might think, oh, but Julia, the market is so saturated. There are so many YouTubers, so many businesses, so many competitors. And that's what I thought too. That's why I waited so long to start my business. It will always feel like there's lots of competitors, but that just means that there's so much demand out there. And you stand out with your unique frequency and you literally have soul contract with the people you are meant to help this lifetime. So don't worry about who or how many will come. Eventually, as you keep showing up, keeping in your purpose, the people you are meant to help will come. So ask yourself, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? After you've taken a long vacation, of course, to the Bahamas, once you're done laying on the beach and your belly can't take any more buffet food and you want to return to normal life, what would you do? And talking about soul contracts, that brings us to point number 2, why God wants you to start a business. And that is that you are here to help a collective of souls. The truth is, your business isn't just about you. It's a divine assignment to equip and serve a collective that needs your unique light. So list 3 ways your product or service can tangibly meet a spiritual or emotional need in your ideal audience. And then ask God for guidance on refining your offer to best serve them. And to hear God's guidance, you really want to make time for silence in your life. And you can do this by meditating daily and going on nature walks without any stimulus. So no podcasts, not talking to a friend, just be in nature. And that's usually for me when downloads come. And for most people, including me, it's not going to be like God showing up in front of you and being like, this is your purpose, this is what you're supposed to make your business about. No, usually it would just be like a thought that comes up in your head and you just can't let go of that thought. And if that happens, write it down. Write down all the signs you're getting from God. And what will often happen is that the same thought, the same pattern will show up in several signs and you'll see a pattern. And by the way, if you want more guidance on how to turn your purpose into a business, then you can book a free clarity call with us, link in the description. And number 3 is that your business gives you the freedom to deepen your spiritual practice. Because owning a business allows you to not trade your time for money. Before I started my business, I was stuck in 9 to 5 that left me exhausted. But today my schedule allows me early morning meditation and evenings studying spiritual texts. Right now I'm actually reading the Srimad Bhagavatam series, which is 18 books this thick. And it's just so fascinating. It's about how to achieve self-realization. And I would have never had that time if I hadn't started a business, because now I only need to work around 4 hours every week on average, which is such a blessing when you are a spiritual person and you want to focus more on spiritual growth than just hustling. Now, not all online businesses are created equally. Some requires more time, money, effort than others. So I have created a video on the best spiritual business models. Check it out, link in the description, so you can find one that gives you that time freedom that you want. Let me know in the comments what type of business that you want to build, and love you so much and see you in the next episode.